New Zealand, why everyone wants to live here. Okay, what is it down under? Australia or New Zealand? Hopefully you have all seen the video we put out last week on Australia. Well, this week it's time for New Zealand. New Zealand is a land like no other, with calm bays to the north, rugged mountains to the south, and all sorts of environments in between. New Zealand is an outdoor lover's dream, teeming with their people known for their hospitality.
All I need to worry about right now is like where I'm gonna go get coffee, really.
A fascinating culture and every type of activity you could think of. As you all saw last week, Australia isn't nothing to sneeze over either. But who's number one? Or is there a number one? Stick around, we are going to show and share with you what we think.
3 years ago, Jill and I sold everything we own and gave up our Canadian residency. Since that time, we have been traveling the world in search of a new place to call home. We have been to over 30 countries since that time and enjoyed every one of them.
But so far, we have found only 3 that have ticked most of the boxes, and those special countries are the ones we would consider as a new home.
And as you all saw last week in our video, after spending 3 amazing months in Australia, we put her on the short list.
And now New Zealand is also on our short list after 3 glorious months there. And everyone, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share.
With a big emphasis on share. It really helps the channel to share it. Not bad first impression.
So why is it and what is it that we love about New Zealand so much? Probably the reason we were so taken with New Zealand is the fact that we are from British Columbia. New Zealand reminded us so much of our old home. But it was like stepping back in time 30 or 40 years. It was like the British Columbia we experienced as children. So much so, it even brought me back to my farming days. I was so happy to see all these guys. It just kind of made my day. New Zealand has miles of beautiful coastline scattered with hundreds of islands. There are gorgeous mountain ranges with majestic rivers and cascading waterfalls. They're absolutely breathtaking. There are literally thousands of miles of trails and tracks to explore. It's an outdoor enthusiast paradise. And what makes it so special is there are so few people. The whole of New Zealand's population is only 5.2 million. We walked some of the most beautiful beaches without seeing another person. There are world-class hikes where we walked for miles without seeing a soul.
We have the track literally to ourselves.
Yeah.
We got pretty lucky.
And the air. In all of our travels, we never really thought about it a lot. But at the start of every morning walk, we would take a deep breath and fill our lungs. It truly reminded us of how air quality is just taken for granted. New Zealand is one of the most isolated countries in the world, and that's what makes it so special. For us as Canadians, our time in New Zealand was, well, a welcome relief from all the noise in North America. And even though we felt like we were a million miles away, guess what? We could still watch a very important hockey game at the dinner hour. And guess what? We won. So what about the cost of living? Unfortunately, isolation and room to move comes at a hefty price. It is not cheap to live in this country. That, combined with limited job opportunities, low wages, creates a serious problem. There is currently a mass exodus of young people leaving New Zealand for job opportunities in Australia. We should mention the New Zealand currency is very favorable for people coming from most Western countries.
What's interesting is we met a lovely couple there, and I was asking them what they felt about all the young people leaving New Zealand because of the financial hardships and what have you, and they weren't the least bit concerned. He actually left New Zealand as a young fellow seeking fame and fortune, moved to Hong Kong, and now they're back in New Zealand. He's retired and done very well, and they've raised a family there. And
what's really quite ironic is that their two daughters have now left to go to Australia to seek job opportunities.
Yeah, and I asked them, I said, well, how's it going to be for everyone leaving if you have no young people? And she sort of chuckled, his wife, and said, they all come back. And it seems like, it's a price that the Kiwis are willing to pay. They will sacrifice their economy a bit to save their beautiful country. And it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out.
Yeah. So New Zealand's becoming a real haven for retirees, and I would also say you'd have to be financially stable to retire there now.
Oh, most definitely.
And what about crime and safety? According to the Global Peace Index, it ranks New Zealand as the second safest country globally. Violent crime rates are minimal. We personally never once gave our safety a second thought.
New Zealand has a universal public healthcare system, but it also has some private as well.
Yeah, private options available that I actually got to experience firsthand, unfortunately. And I had a bit of an accident there. I slipped on a hiking trail, and I ended up at emergency, and much to my surprise, there was no cost for it whatsoever. They have something in place where if it's an actual accident, it's free of charge. So I ended up, in the emergency. I had some physiotherapy that I partook in, and then they actually ended up giving me a cortisone shot in my shoulder. And still a little stiff, but it's coming along. So, and most of that was covered, and I think it's because they, pride themselves as the adventure capital of the world. If people get hurt on their adventures, they're going to have coverage for it.
Yeah.
So, what did you think? Were you impressed with the ease of care?
Yeah, and the hospitals and the radiology areas that we saw, they were fantastic.
Yeah, all first class.
Yeah.
So we were impressed, that's for sure.
As you can see, New Zealand is a great place to live. It's not perfect, but what country is? So, where are we moving to? What's it going to be, Australia or New Zealand? Drum roll, please. Well, it's both. In our opinion, these are the two premium destinations in the world. So what is preventing us from making either one our new home at present? Well, it's the real estate costs and as well as the immigration difficulty. And quite frankly, we are still loving our freedom to go wherever we want, whenever we want. So for now, we figure 3 months in Australia, 3 months in New Zealand, and 6 months traveling the world is our happy place. So everyone, where is your happy place? If you could go anywhere, where would you go? Let us know.
So thanks for watching, and as always, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. You can also follow us on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and X.
So until next time, goodbye everyone from beautiful Cabo San Lucas, Mexico.